One word to describe competing for SFU is tradition.
My word is success.
Determination.
Experience.
Inspiring.
One word to describe competing for SFU is excellence.
It is family.
Passion.
My word is pride.
Opportunity.
My word is patriotic.
I am Sophie Swan.
I am Adam Jones.
I am Peyton Smith.
I am Justin Guerin.
I am Victoria Saunders.
I am Braden Charlton.
I am Michaela Guerrero.
I am Graham Miller.
I am Christine Howlett.
I am Adrian Vanderhelm.
I am Michelle Waters, and we are proud to be on Canada's NCAA team.
And welcome everybody to the West Gym here at Simon Fraser University. Time for another Clan basketball doubleheader, starting with the women tonight. I'm Howard Samura. Thanks for joining us here. And it will be an exciting doubleheader of men's and women's basketball on Thursday. The men starting off our night, the women finishing it off. And we'll flip the script here tonight as the Simon Fraser Clan women in a desperate battle for the playoffs set to face Central Washington. And the two teams in the warm-ups right now, you see them on the floor. It's pink night here at Simon Fraser, and the Clan women's team adorned in their pink warm-up tops. And we can let you know that 2 nights ago, SFU went toe-to-toe with Northwest Nazarene for the better part of 3 quarters. The Nighthawks pulled away in the third to ice a 76-67 win. The shorthanded Simon Fraser squad led 35-32 after a scrappy first half, but Northwest Nazarene's offense exploded, if you watch this on Clan TV, with 29 points in the third frame to seal the victory. And with the defeat, the Clan fell to 11-14 overall this season, 6-11 in the GNAC. Despite the outcome, 4 Clan players reached double-digit scoring. Sophomore point guard Taylor Drynan, a season-high 16 points on 6 of 11 shooting, 4 of 8 from beyond the arc for Taylor. Also 6 assists and had a steal in 36 minutes, so really productive for Taylor Drynan, the sophomore point guard. Sophie Swant, the team's scoring leader, 16 points on 6 of 11 shooting. Also 5 rebounds and 6 assists, 2 blocks, 2 steals. The usual well-balanced effort for Sophie Swant out of North Vancouver. Jessica Jones and Taylor Jackson, 15 and 14 points respectively. Taylor Jackson also recording 5 rebounds and 2 blocks. The team to look to keep their postseason hopes alive and pick up a much-needed win tonight against Central Washington, led by their head coach Randy Richardson-Thornley. On Thursday was Kaylee Flores, Jasmine Edwards, and Beverly Verduin, who each posted double-digit scores. But Central Washington falling to Western Washington in Bellingham, 67-59. The Vikings opened the first quarter with a 12-2 run, and they claimed an early 10-point advantage there. The Wildcats battled throughout the game, but the team couldn't quite recover from that early deficit, and with the loss, Central falling to 14-11 overall, 10-7 in the GNAC. In a prior meeting earlier this season in Ellensburg, the Wildcats handing the Clan a 77-71 loss. Swant, Claudia Hart, and Taylor Drynan all scoring into double digits, but an impressive offensive performance by Central Washington was more than the Clan could handle there. And you'll see key players today, Sadie Mensing, Jasmine Edwards, and Taylor Baird among them. And the GNAC standings, Sophie Swant, we see her there right now warming up, the former Argyle Piper in her junior season. As you see the numbers there, impressive 14.2 points per game. And turning our attention now to that GNAC women's table and taking a look at the Alaska Anchorage Seawolves sitting atop with a 7-game win streak and a 16-1 record. What a season they've had. Of course, Northwest Nazarene, our visitors here on Thursday, keeping pace at 15-2. They've won 10 straight, and that gives you an indication of just where the elite teams in the GNAC are. But take a look at Central Washington, perched at 10-7. They're 1 spot out of a guaranteed playoff spot right now. The top 6 are getting in, but Montana State, Billings, SPU, Northwest Nazarene, and Anchorage all have already clinched. Central Washington would love to join them. They'd also love to snap a 3-game losing streak. Western Washington nipping at their heels. Simon Fraser, as you can see, with that loss, falling 2 games out of the playoff scenario, they will have to win out. I mean, they have 3 more games remaining. They're all at home. But Simon Fraser, you got to think, has got to win all 3 of their games and hope for some help. They don't have some key tiebreakers, but they will have a big game here Tuesday against Western Washington. The Vikings one spot ahead of them, sitting with that 8-9 record, and Western Washington will be here on Tuesday for a 7:30 game on Clan TV. As well on Thursday, they'll wrap the season up against Montana State Billings at 7:30. So the last 3 games will come over the next few days here. Simon Fraser with less than a week of its regular season remaining. And as you can see, the next home game, February the 20th, 7 o'clock Tuesday against Western Washington. Athletics.sfu.ca/live, the place you are watching us on YouTube. It's also the place to tune in throughout the season for all of your Simon Fraser Clan men's and women's basketball action, women's volleyball, football, as well as softball, all here. Athletics.sfu.ca/live. And thanks for joining us. We can let you know that the starters are going to be announced in a bit. We can let you know the starters today for Central Washington will be Jasmine Edwards, the 5'5 senior out of Linwood, Washington. Taylor Baird's the 6'2 senior out of Snohomish, Washington. Sadie Mensing, the 5'9 junior guard, also out of Snohomish, Washington. Both Baird and Mensing, former high school teammates at Glacier Peak. Beverly Verduin as well out of Ballard High School in Seattle, and Cassidy Malcolm, the 5'11 freshman out of Ellensburg, Washington, also penciled into that starting lineup. We should also say it's not Verduin, it's Verdine, and I'll get my pronunciations right here. Beverly Verdine. Simon Fraser as well, they're starters today. Tia Sang, Taylor Drine, and Taylor Jackson, Sophie Swant, and Jessica Jones will be among those, will be this Clan starting lineup tonight. There's live entertainment in the crowd today. We're expecting a nice packed house here for the evening. The Clan is in danger of missing the conference tournament for the first time since it became eligible for the postseason in 2012-13. So it has been a tough season for the Clan under head coach Bruce Langford. Injuries and really fighting a thin lineup all season long, but the Clan ladies were hanging around with Northwest Nazarene for much of that game on Thursday. They'd love to do that and more here today against Central Washington, keep themselves in the playoff conversation here in the GNAC. As the players now down to about 139, getting set to get off the floor here. The officials now taken to the court here at the West Gym. And they will meet and gather with the head coaches from both teams. As we mentioned, Bruce Langford, in his 17th year. His assistant coach is Jessica Wallace in her 3rd year, the student assistant. The former point guard, Ellen Kett, also part of that coaching staff. For Central Washington, we mentioned Randy Richardson Thornley, a Wyoming grad in 2011 in her 1st year as a head coach. Assistant coaches Hillary Carlson and Stacy Lukasiewicz as well on that staff for the squad out of Ellensburg, Washington. Simon Fraser as well will have the men on the floor today in a 7:30 tip-off there for Simon Fraser as they face Alaska Anchorage. If you were with us on Thursday for the first half of our Clan TV doubleheader, of course you saw the largest win in GNAC conference play history for Simon Fraser. This is the 8th season Clan teams in the GNAC. Their victory over Alaska Anchorage, the largest margin they've had over any team in GNAC conference play. Alaska Fairbanks, check that. Especially impressive, and they will face the Seawolves. Both teams are sitting at 8 and 9 out of the fine state of Alaska coming into play, and that will be after this game. There will also be a seniors celebration for the 3 Clan men seniors. But it's pink night here for this opening game as we get set for the buzzer, get set for the anthems, and once those anthems are done, we will join you for the opening tip as the officials make their way by our media location here. We'll be back after the playing of the 2 national anthems, dig into more of the starting lineup. Back with more in just a moment on Clan TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise and please remove all hats. And welcome 11-year-old Citadel Middle School representative Diego Hickman leads center of Hickelstone to perform the American and Canadian national anthems.
Oh, say, can you see by the concerning light what so proudly hailed as its twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets crackling, the bumpers singing, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love with marvelous command, with glowing hearts we see the rise of true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for
And now basketball.
And rousing renditions of both the Star Spangled Banner and O Canada delivered here at the West Gym as we get set to meet the starting lineups for both teams. Central Washington out of Ellensburg coming in on a 3-game losing streak in the conference, would love to get off the schneid tonight against Simon Fraser and continue to build some momentum for the postseason. Simon Fraser battling, and the phrase tooth and claw, we've been using it for the last couple of weeks here. And the Clan have not been able to get on the roll they want. They are short-staffed. They're down to 8 players, and they are battling 8 players if Nicole Vanderhelm plays, and it looks like she may not be playing a game tonight. Vanderhelm, the Santa Clara transfer with the wrist injury. So we will see if Nicole plays, as our producer Gabe Lynn lets us know. She is dressed, indeed she is, and if she has to be called into duty, I think Nicole Vanderhelm can be a big piece of the puzzle here for Simon Fraser tonight. Tia Sang, the sophomore out of Richmond, now being introduced wearing number 1. Taylor Drynan as well, coming off of a career high with 16 points in her last game. Shot it well, had to be a scorer, and really stepped up, I thought, the second-year point guard out of Gonzaga Prep. Taylor Jackson wearing number 12, making her way onto the court. Another double-digit day in the scoring column for Taylor Jackson. Sophie Swamp, the team's leading scorer and one of the top scorers in the GNAC. And here comes Jessica Jones out of Richmond as well, McMass Secondary. Another double-digit effort for number 33 as well, the redshirt freshman. So the 5 Clan players, Jessica Jones, Sophie Swant, Taylor Jackson, Tia Sang, and Taylor Drynan. And they will oppose the Central Washington Wildcats out of Ellensburg, Washington. As we mentioned, Jasmine Edwards, Sadie Mensing, Beverly Verdine, Cassidy Malcolm, Taylor Baird as well, I think I missed in there. They're 5, and here they come, dressed in their road blacks. Our thanks to the whole Clan TV crew as they are once again here to bring you all the angles and give you as clear a picture as we can of this GNAC women's broadcast on Clan TV as well. And thanks as always to producer Gabe Lynn, who's got us on the air again. The opening tip about to take place here. And it will be Taylor Baird, the 6'2 senior out of Snohomish, Washington, jumping against Taylor Jackson, the 6'3 center. And the transfer from Cal Irvine, and the game is now underway. Central Washington winning the opening tip, and the ball going to the senior point guard, Jasmine Edwards. She's going to get it right back and put it up, and just like that, 8 seconds into this basketball game, and it's a 3-0 Central Washington lead. A good sign for head coach Randy Richardson, Thornley and company. As we mentioned, they come in with that 3-game losing streak, losing ground to the top teams in the GNAC. Drynan skip pass, a little bit off the mark as couldn't connect with Taylor Jackson. So right down the floor, and I'm not sure what happened there. Central Washington almost looked like a back pass from Cassidy Malcolm, but it goes right to the Clan. Drynan the drive and the kick across court to Jones. Feeding to Sang, a little touch pass back out for the three in the cylinder and right back out for Jessica Jones, chased down by Taylor Jackson. Swan battling combat mode underneath. Sophie Swan finds a way to play the angle off the glass to make it 3-2. Verdine with the basketball, now up to Edwards. High screen being set there by Baird. Edwards to Mensing, driving right into the lane, and no one there to make it tough for Sadie Mensing. She gets right into the paint for Central Washington. Sophie looking for cutters on the floor, finds one underneath, and Jessica Jones just a little late there underneath. What a funky bounce that was off the window for Sophie Swan, playing it high off the glass and making it work. I don't know if you heard head coach Bruce Langford asking Sophie Swan if she's okay, but another turnover here. Central having trouble holding on to the basketball. Simon Fraser says thank you very much. Taylor Drynan now with a little crossover, gets her into the paint. High angle off the window for Drynan, and she makes it work. The Clan playing the angles off the glass so well here early and jump out to a 6-5 lead just over 2 minutes into our opening quarter of play here from the West Gym. Jasmine Edwards looking down low and trying to find Taylor Baird. Some contact underneath, the whistle blows. So they're going to rule off a Clan player. And the inbounds from Verdine. Great job by Drynan and by Sophie Swan. The interesting physics they're playing off the glass here early. Finding their spots and putting the Clan up 6-5. Shot clock's now down to 8 for Central. That's Verdine kicking it back up top. Three ball is going to swish home for Sadie Mensing, and 2 triples out of their first 3 field goals here for Central Washington has them in front 8-6. Simon Fraser. Taylor looking for someone on an empty wing, and she's going to get bumped out of bounds there by Mensing. Not too sure what happened there, but Simon Fraser unable to get things going. Take a look at the replay here. Take a look at this replay on the Clan TV screen. I believe this is going to be the Swan basket. Love the angle. Sophie plays it so high off the glass. And they cut back to our live action. Is going to show the Clan getting a turnover, and thanks to our Clan TV crew for that replay. Here's Jones, now to Swan. Drynan, love the way she's getting into attack mode, finds a cutting Swan coming to the basket, and Sophie will lay it up and in for Simon Fraser. She'll knot the game at 8. Drynan off the dribble, making good things happen with her penetration, and she's getting a more attacking mindset here late in this season. We saw that on Thursday in the loss to Northwest Nazarene with all the points she was putting up. Off the front of the iron for Malcolm. Cassidy Malcolm coming up short there, but the Wildcats are going to chase it down, keep possession, try to regain the lead here. A drive off the window isn't going to go, but a second chance on the turnaround is, and another opportunity underneath. 3 opportunities to score the basketball for Taylor Baird, Sadie Mensing, and Jasmine Edwards, all of them falling short for Central Washington. So the Clan are dodging bullets all over the place here. They are lucky that this game remains tied at 8. Central Washington, great hustle factor there off the glass, but just unable to score it here. So here comes the Clan back up the floor. Swalt at the top, finds Dryden. This time she'll put up the 3. Oh, just off the mark there. The rebound is gobbled up there by Kaylee Flores, now checked into the game, the Kaiser, Oregon sophomore. Here's Edwards working off that high screen. First to Mensing. She drives, she spins and pivots, and Sophie Swan all over the place. A defensive dervish trying to knock that ball and disrupt their rhythm. Number 21 doing a great job there. Take a look at this replay. Sophie just gets combative there, and everybody talks about fingertips being important, and she knocks the ball, she gets them out of the rhythm, and now they've got a possession with a shot clock that's now down to 6. And Sophie gets the steal, she does it all for Simon Fraser. Claudia Hart checked into the game, leads that break down the floor to Jones. Hart looking to screen and roll, instead they'll go to the other side to Kendall Sands, and Kendall, the freshman, will knock it down. Kendall Sands' first touch of the basketball is a triple, and here's an 11-8 lead for Simon Fraser. What a great job. Kendall Sands, cold off the bench, knocks down the triple. Edwards now trying to weave through traffic, but she trips on the free throw line. Dryden's leading the rush, looking for somebody. Instead, she'll put it off the glass, can't get it to go. Nice hustle by Hart.
Black has the ball.
Taylor Dryden is down on the floor, pounding her hand on the floor. Let's hope she's okay. That's her right ankle, it looks like. And let's hope Dryden is okay. She looks to be in a little bit of pain here. Training staff on the floor to check to her, and that's going to push Nicole Vanderhelm into action. Vanderhelm, as you notice, with that heavy support on her left wrist. And it's been a nagging injury for Nicole. It just doesn't seem to go away down the stretch drive. She's had to sit out some games. Let's just hope Taylor Dryden's okay. She's played the best basketball of her Clan career. Let's take a look on the replay. Dryden was leading the rush, looking to see where the rest of her charges were. She was so far ahead of the play. Looks like she maybe got her foot stepped on there. I'm not too sure what happened, and maybe something got hyperextended there. I'm trying to see who the player was, and I believe it was Taylor Shaw. He's 22 in the game right now. It would have been Cassidy Malcolm. Oh no, it's 22. And our TV is our camera's just out of the way there, but I think her foot got stepped on, and as she came up, something happened there. We're getting a note that perhaps just a rolled ankle there, thanks to our producer Gabe Lynn. Is nice to see Taylor coming off on her own speed. There's a nice lower look, and we'll see what happens here. Yeah, you're right. Our producer Gabe Lynn nails it again. The right ankle rolled as she tries to take a bit of a cut to the basket there with a defender draped on her shoulder. That was the reason for that one. Let's hope Taylor Dryden can get back in, because Dryden is a workhorse for this Clan team, averaging 30-plus minutes a game here for Simon Fraser. She is a workhorse and really does a lot for this team. 33.8 minutes per game is what she's averaging, amongst the tops in the conference. Leader on this team has started all 25 games. Taylor Dryden, such a valuable piece of what is happening here in this youth movement on the hill atop Murray Mountains. Central Washington will break the huddle as well. Both teams have to come back onto the floor here. So let's hope everything's okay there. It becomes an awfully short bench. And Nicole Vanderhelm is going to tough it out along with Claudia Hart, Jessica Jones, Sophie Swant, and Kendall Sands. 11-8, Simon Fraser with the lead. They took the lead on that 3 by Kendall Sands from the baseline corner. a great job there as Kendall rose and knocked it down. It seemed to get stuck in the rim and decided it wanted to go down. Sands tips that one away. Back up top to Edwards. Physical play on the turnaround move, and it's going to roll off the rim, and it's not going to fall Central's way, but a great aggressive move there by Cassidy Malcolm. Jessica Jones to Nicole Vanderhelm. Jones will get it back. Swung back to Vanderhelm. Vanderhelm gingerly catching that pass, and clearly that left wrist is not where she wants it to be. Did dress for the game today, but maybe won't be able to go at full capacity. Gutting it out right now with the domino effect rippling through the lineup after Taylor Drynan limped off the floor. Clan doing a good job keeping Central to 8 points here with 3:37 left in the third quarter. Cutter into the paint. They'll kick it around the horn and go back to Taylor Shaw. Sophie Swart getting called for the foul. Her first second team foul here in the quarter. No fouls yet for Central Washington. Howard Samura here with you on Clan TV. Thanks for joining us on the World Wide Web wherever you may be. Simon Fraser, the only non-US team in the entire NCAA. Great drive to the basket. What a take, can't get the finish. Central is a little snake bitten under the basket right now. They got a short little jumper there, and they will finally get the shooter's roll. Flores knocks that one down to make it a 1-point game. Simon Fraser with the lead and the basketball. Sands, great angle there on the cut by Jones. They established some good contact there and a great cut to the basket by Jones. Simon Fraser executing in the half court to perfection there. Great job, Kendall Sands. What a difference she's making off the bench. That is a pure freshman guarding a senior in Jasmine Edwards, a team leader, one of the best guards in the GNAC, and there's Kendall Sands, the pure freshman out of Dr. Charles Best in Coquitlam, hitting a three, dishing a dime, and then coming back and causing a turnover by drawing a charge. So Kendall Sands doing a great job off the bench here for Simon Fraser. Sang will check in for Simon Fraser at the next stoppage. Hart to Swant underneath. Sophie can't get the elevation on that shot, but she will draw the contact, which she does when she hits traffic. She is always going to be the aggressor. And at 13-10, a chance to shoot a couple here. It's going to be Sang and Taylor Jackson checking in for Simon Fraser. Great day for girls high school basketball as well, and we'll reference what's happening in the high school world, especially because I believe Abbotsford is playing in the Fraser Valley Championship final today. Of course, Sienna Lenz of Abbotsford, the senior, set to join the Simon Fraser Clan team next season. The Lower Mainland Championships as well. Carson Graham is playing Argyle, and Georgia Swant of the Argyle Pipers, Sophie's younger sister, playing in that championship game tonight. Good move underneath the basket by Baird, battling hard, the 6'2 senior out of Glacier Peak in Snohomish, Washington, scores the basketball there to make it 15-12. Swant's three ball doesn't draw any iron. On the shot clock, Clan inbound, and what a great quick hitter off the baseline inbound. Sands finds Swant for the lay-in. And Simon Fraser with its biggest lead of the game here now at 5 points, 17-12. Good job by the Clan ladies here. There's a drive and a little floater that's going to find favor with the rim. Central Washington continuing to keep it tight here. Good sign for Clan fans. Taylor Drynan off the bench and set to check back into this game. Baseline jumper from Sands, swirls in and out. Sang with a great job to pursue the loose ball. But she, unfortunately, is going to get called for the foul. I don't see great inbounds play. You see it right there. Kendall is getting things done here. The extended break, she will remain on the floor actually. So both Drynan and Kendall Sands staying on the floor. Here's a square up jumper that's going to fall shy of the mark there by Kaylee Flores. Oh, geez. I don't know what to say. I hope you heard that because it's beautiful. Head coach Bruce Langford expressing some of his displeasure with some political satire there to the officials. Clan now in the half court. 3-point lead, drive by Sands. Kendall's doing it all here with a minute remaining. Kendall Sands, what a first quarter of play. She sat off the bench. 19-14 Clan restored the 5-point lead with under a minute remaining. Here's Edwards. She'll come to a stop, kick it back up top for the three, and they're going to knock that one down. Wide open, Kaylee Flores, the sophomore, will not miss that one. She drops it down. Three ball has been the friend of Central here in the opening quarter of play. 19-17, of course, Jasmine Edwards knocked down a triple 8 seconds into the game. 19-17, Simon Fraser doing the job here. There's a 6-second difference in the clocks here as Kendall Sands now with the basketball. Shot clock down to 5. Sophie will put up the three off the back iron, and Tia Sang didn't want to go too hard and strong over the top and get called for another foul. So she backs off a bit. Sophie reaches in, knocks it away from Edwards. Sophie Swan, what a great player. So fun to watch the junior from North Vancouver. I don't think it would have mattered what sport Sophie Swan played. She would have found a way to be exceptional. And boy, that is fun. Sophie never gives up on the play. She reaches in there. Edwards is coming full speed, and without drawing a foul is able to knock that ball away. So an exciting first quarter of play, 19-17. Simon Fraser with the lead. We'll get you some numbers in just a moment. But Simon Fraser and their issues, obviously the depth of their team. Let's take a look here. Another replay on from our Clan TV crew as Edwards, and there's some timing involved there. Super slow-mo really does a good job of breaking that one down and showing you the timing of the touch of Sophie Swan. She's aware of the clock as well, tries to heave it up, and great job by our Clan TV crew to capture just what we were talking about. So let's look at some of the numbers here. Both teams shot it well in that first half of play. Simon Fraser especially, 8 of 14. That's 57% from the field for the home team. They were only 1 of 5 from beyond the arc, but 8 of 14. Leading scorers, Sophie Swant has 10 of the 19 points in the first quarter of play. Sophie's playing like she wants 40 tonight. And she's on that pace here. 5 points for Kendall Sands. Kendall Sands also with 2 assists. And hit a 3 as we mentioned. So a great job there. Sophie's also got 4 steals, we should mention, of Simon Fraser's 6. On the other side of the ledger, it's 5 points apiece for Kaylee Flores and Sadie Mensing. Both of them hitting triples as Central was 3 of 3 from beyond the arc. The Wildcats, however, did not get to the free throw line. And they trail by 2 here as we begin the second quarter of play. Sang up top to Taylor Jackson. Tia will drive instead, drive right into a crowd, gets it back though and kicks it back up top. That's strength. The Tia Sang as a sophomore is as strong as they come for a second-year player, and she can recover off those drives into traffic very nicely. In fact, if you look at Tia Sang and then look at Sophie Swan, you can see a very similar track here in terms of players who play it very rough and physical. Swant now with the basketball, 21, puts up that corner jumper. It can't fall for the Clan, and a rebound quickly. Jasmine Edwards scopes out the scenario down the other end of the floor. High-low underneath, and they will score and get the N1 opportunity as well with Taylor Baird. Baird using all of that 6'2 frame, the nice reach and the athleticism down low, and she's got some great footwork as well. So the foul being called against Taylor Jackson, her first, and it's going to result in an N1. A tie game right now. The Wildcats, who've trailed by as many as 5, can take the lead right here. Bruce Langford used the word reciprocity in his talk to the officials, and you're not going to hear that one too often used by coaches talking to officials in a basketball game. Here's Drynan. Jackson now. The drive, the dish underneath. What a great pass from Taylor to find Tia Sang for the easy deuce underneath. 21-20, Simon Fraser 1 minute into the second quarter of play. On a doubleheader Saturday here from the West Gym, it's pink night. Clan men set to play Anchorage at 7:30. We'll have that one as well here on Clan TV. Underneath again, Mensing, and this time, or Baird checked that in. Jackson this time from behind, getting the better of the matchup. This time, finding Jackson. Taylor quickly off the window. The dime dish there by Taylor Dryden. Jessica Jones will check in soon for Simon Fraser. Mensing now with the basketball. The handoff quickly to Verdine. She'll dish it right back up top to Mensing. Mensing spinning against Jackson. Tries to find Taylor Baird, instead intercepted by the Clan, and here they come right down the floor again. Great crossover move there. Nice little, that's what the situation dictated. Taylor Dryden just floats the ball off of her hip, underhanded off the window, with the defender bearing down with her on the break, and she scores the basketball there, 25-28. Great basket from Taylor Dryden. The senior Edwards dishing down low to Cassidy Malcolm. Shot clock's down to 6 here for Central. Sadie Mensing, though, gets into the paint and is gonna... They're gonna call the offensive foul, so the Clan doing a great job of standing in. Late in the shot clock, Simon Fraser steps up courageously defensively. And they take that N1 opportunity away from Central Washington. So that is a pivotal one here in the early stages of the second quarter for a Clan team that wants to build on a 5-point lead. So getting it back now. Here's Dryden. Taylor using the wing, just off the mark though. Tia Sang helps them recover, and Jessica for 3. Jones, double 3, knocks down the triple. And here's an 8-point lead for Simon Fraser with 7 minutes left of the half. A great job to recover. Tia Sang getting the ball to Jessica Jones for the triple. Edwards having to play a tough angle with good positional defense from Taylor Jackson. No-look pass to Swant to Tia Sang with Edwards in her face, and she knocks it down. Jasmine Edwards right in the face of Tia Sang. Tia knocks it down 11. Where did this lead come from? The Clan have gone on a huge run here. And a 31-20 lead, a timeout called by Central Washington. They want to talk things over. Take a look at that no-look pass, and they get it back to Tia Sang. She knocks down the triple. Jessica Jones as well. All our young players in the audience watching, and your coaches tell you to hold your follow-through. Well, if you watch Jessica Jones there, she's got the perfect release, and she is backpedaling, but her hands are still there with that loose wrist. They talk about the cookie jar, and that's Jessica Jones knocking down the triple. 6:42 remaining in this half. We'll keep it here over this timeout, and we will have our first opportunity to thank our sponsors right here on Clan TV. And of course, we always start with the SFU Spirit Shop, SFU branded clothing and merchandise. Proud to support SFU Athletics, located at the Burnaby campus in the Maggie Benson Center. And always the place to pick up your Simon Fraser Clan athletic swag. Charter Bus Lines, the official motor coach of Simon Fraser University Athletics. Proud to support SFU football and all Clan teams. It's a big job, but Charter is dedicated to providing safe and comfortable transportation to your games throughout the Pacific Northwest. Visit them at charterbuslines.com. The ladies won't be on the bus anymore this year. They want to make the playoffs, but the rest of their home games will be here at the West Gym. And of course, Western Washington is here on Tuesday. The Montana State Billings, the Yellow Jackets on Thursday, and that will wrap up the GNAC season. The GNAC season, I love it. It's 20 games, but it goes way too fast. It's, every year, for Clan basketball fans, and as we have made a point of mentioning, this is the 8th year in the GNAC, not as an official D2 member, but Simon Fraser in their first GNAC season 8 seasons ago. Here's Edwards driving in, kicking it back up top, right into that Clan bench, right to the assistant coach Alan Kett. And that's a turnover, nice defense there to force the turnover by Simon Fraser. As we mentioned, the Clan shot, 59%. They built up an 11-point lead with a huge run at the end of that first quarter. They'd love to build on it here. Jackson at the elbow, the turn, the pass to Tia Sang. Get some movement here. They get the ball to Jackson. She's going to swing it out to Tia for 3. Sang knocks down another triple. So back-to-back threes from Tia Sang, and it's a 14-point lead. Simon Fraser looked a little flat-footed in that possession, but when you're hot, you're hot. Tia knocks down another triple. So it's reached the midway point of this quarter. Central Washington coming up shy with the 3 ball, but a whistle blows underneath and looks like a foul is going to get called against Taylor Jackson. That's going to be her second, and it will be just the second team foul in this quarter. So Taylor taking a seat, and Claudia Hart, number 33 on a Seco, or rather Claudia's number wrong, 13, apologies there, on the Seco secondary in North Vancouver. So this time Jessica Jones getting called for the foul. So Simon Fraser running into some foul issues here. Jones gets called. Central Washington's MO obviously get aggressive down low. They've got the depth and they've got the advantage down there with the deeper rotation. And they've got to try and turn this into a battle of attrition from their standpoint, knowing Simon Fraser really has 7 players and an injured Nicole Vanderhelm doing her best, but no question that wrist injury is still affecting her. They will get the shooter's roll and cut the deficit to 12. There's the hot shooter, Sang. She'll give the ball up to Swan. Sophie Long pass to Drynan. Head fake gets her on the baseline. Skip to Swan. Squares up but can't get that one to go. Claudia Hart tried to bat it away, but rebound gobbled up there by the Wildcats. Verdine, the handoff. Ooh, and what a play. Kendall Sands is right in the face of Jasmine Edwards and forces the travel and the turnover. So Kendall Sands, what a job she's done today. Not just as a shooter, but as a distributor, defending. She's doing it all here at both sides of the floor. Claudia Hart to Tia Sang now with the basketball. Drynan's got Verdine guarding her. Hart comes up to set a high screen for Drynan, who drives into a triple team. The dish to Hart couldn't get the extension on the jump shot underneath, and there's a reverse. Taylor loves the reverse. And she was in the, boy, just down in the trenches, needing to manufacture ways. We talked about that shot that came off her hip, the little floater. And this time she loves to go reverse. And again, Sophie Swan gets in there and draws the charge. So Simon Fraser can do no wrong right now. The lead's now up to 14. Take a look at Sophie stepping up and taking one for the team. A great job there as she gets right in the grill of Kaylee Flores for the turnover. Flores taking her second foul of the game, second team foul. Nicole Vanderhelm set to come in at the next stoppage. Sophie wrestling for the ball and the whistle again, and this time the foul is going to get called against Sadie Mensing. So Mensing second. Sophie Swan's going to get a short breather here. You know, it's not going to be very long. Both her and Drynan are workhorses in this Clan roster. Taylor, you can tell Taylor Drynan works on that reverse move. Like, it's such a high percentage shot for her in traffic. She's almost happy when she gets the second, third option and has to pull that one out of the bag. Shot clock's now down to 9. Drynan again with the basketball into the paint to skip down low to Hart, off the window. Claudia in traffic, gets the rebound, didn't touch the rim at the shot clock buzzer. And Kendall Sands can't make that one fall for Simon Fraser. Jasmine Edwards now. She'll enter in the post to Taylor Baird. Baird, the turnaround move, the extension off the window, and Taylor Baird has been so dynamic down low for Central Washington. Despite their struggles, Taylor Baird getting a lot of things done. Oop, Sands off of her foot. And that's the first turnover of the game for Sands. But anyway, it's going to be Central Washington basketball. As we take a look here at Jasmine Edwards coming up the floor. And we told you it was going to be a short break for Sophie Swan. She's already back. Checking in here at the scorer's table to get back into this game. High-low again is killing Simon Fraser down low, and they've got to stop Taylor Baird from taking that pass down low. She cuts it now to 10 points. One of those pressure points for Simon Fraser. They need to get into jugular mode here in terms of building a big lead and maintaining it as the moments tick down to the first half. Here's Vanderhelm, and that's not fun for Nicole, I can tell you that. Getting into a jump ball situation with that wrist right now. Nicole off the floor, and as she high fives with both Sophie Swan and Bruce Langford, the head coach, she does not use that wrist. She uses the other hand, and you can tell that it is bothering her tonight. Nicole Vanderhelm, the transfer originally from Holy Cross Secondary in Surrey, and of course spent a season at Santa Clara in the West Coast Conference Division 1 before transferring back home. Here's Edwards back up top. They'll go to Mensing. Sadie right into the paint. Can't get it to go. Underneath again. Mensing couldn't get it to go. So the Clan getting it done with a big stop underneath, and now they'll go to Swan. She'll go right in the middle of the floor to Claudia Hart. Hart plays the window, can't get it to go, but there is contact underneath, and Claudia Hart gets it done. Looks like Kaylee Flores, and we'll take a look at the Clan TV replay. It's going to be the third foul against Flores, as you see Claudia drive into the basket. Didn't see too much there, but I guess they did see Flores with the contact on the arm as Claudia Hart steps up and makes the first free throw. An 11-point lead here. 2 minutes and 4 seconds left to the break. And it is a balanced Clan attack here. Everybody's contributing, and that's the kind of night the Clan has to have. Basically a 7-player rotation. Jumper high arcer off the back iron. And a push called underneath to Taylor Baird. Baird is a senior, Mensing is a junior. And both of them listed from Glacier Peak in Snohomish, Washington. I'm sure Washington friends know all about their high school exploits, but obviously it must have been a good team. I can tell you the team that number 13 played on in high school, Seacombe Secondary for Claudia Hart, was a very, very good team. In fact, in Claudia's redshirt season here in Simon Fraser, they won the BC Girls AAA Championship. Claudia Hart was a huge part of that one the season before. Central now with 1:38 remaining in the half. A turnover as they try to skip it back out. Clan playing really aggressive defensively, and they've been the better team, no question here in this opening half. With the 14-point lead. And the basketball, Sophie driving. Oh, I think Sophie was expecting contact. Couldn't believe she was that wide open as she drove the glass. It came up short there. On the other end, another great opportunity for Mensing, and she pulls up short. Right at the lip of the basket. Claudia Hart right down the floor, and she will lay it up and in. But that is fun basketball, fast tempo, fast breaking basketball, and Claudia Hart runs the floor and gets to lay it at the other end. Well, that I would have thought the Clan with a 16-point lead here in the final minute of the first half, but what an effort by SFU today. Jumper for three, though, and that's been the saving grace of the Central Washington team. Cassidy Malcolm knocks down the triple. It's a 13-point lead. Central has had their share of triples. Drive and dish here from Drynan, a three ball just off the mark there by Kendall. And there you see Hart and number 24 Malcolm. And actually I thought it was a jump ball called, but instead it's a foul against Claudia Hart. So it's her first of the game. Not even sure the shot clock should be on. I think there's less time in the game than there is on the shot clock by about a half second. And I hope you'll join us. We'll endeavor to have a guest here at halftime. Great job by Hart, digging in. And Claudia knows what she's doing. She's got that timed out so well. The first person over there to congratulate her is Sophie Swan. You know that they all love to get in there and dig in deep. Taylor Jackson also does a great job of drawing those charges. Great job there by Claudia Hart to create the turnover here with 6.2 seconds left. Gets her team one last look at the basket. And Drynan, aware of time and circumstance here, with 1.2 seconds. Oh, wanted to go to Sophie for the three ball. Instead, it'll go over her head. But what a first half by Simon Fraser. A 42-29 lead. And a great job by the Clan. We're going to be joined, I believe, by Tia Sang of the Simon Fraser Clan. Our cameras up there. Tia, thanks for joining us. Talk about the energy you guys brought to build up a huge lead.
Well, I think it's definitely contagious. We can't get ahead of ourselves here. We know the third quarter is really important for us, so we just got to keep pushing on the gas pedal and hopefully score some more points.
It is. Focus has got to be tough when you're basically playing with 7.5. Nicole is very hurt today, I can tell. How much focus do you guys need to bring to start that third quarter?
Well, I think the whole season we've kind of struggled with numbers, and this Central Washington team is not used to having so few people on their bench, so I think they're definitely struggling with that.
How about you? Last question. There's going to be no problems with your energy. You're pretty amped up and ready to play.
Yeah, I'm really feeling it today, so we'll see how it goes.
Great to see you play. Thank you so much, Tia Sang, Simon Fraser, and knocked down some triples there in that opening half of play. A great job, as usual, from number one, the sophomore out of Richmond, British Columbia. The score at the half, 42-29. Howard Samura here, Clan TV. Back with more from the West Gym in a few moments.
Mental illness is something anyone can suffer from.
It isn't a choice or a weakness, and you can't just snap out of it.
But with support, we can make each other better.
Check in and care for your friends, teammates, or colleagues, and be a good listener for them.
Ask them how they're doing and if you can do anything to help.
It begins the crucial first step of decreasing the stigma so that we can open up a conversation.
Educate yourself about mental health
and help break down the myths and stereotypes.
Together, we can shape the dialogue about mental health within our community.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is passion. Because to accomplish anything, you have to work for it. You need to love to work for it. My passion for basketball drives me to dedicate everything I have to it, day in and day out. I am Graham Miller, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA men's basketball team.
And welcome back, everybody. Ready to start the second half here from the West Gym. The musical entertainment getting us through halftime here today on Pink Night. Of course, the Simon Fraser University men set to take to the court. Would love to get a two-game win streak going. Would love to sweep the Alaska competition, but that's easier said than done. Alaska Anchorage at 8-9 in to face the Simon Fraser clan in our next game here to follow at 7:30. Simon Fraser, the women here. What a performance in the opening half of play. 42-29 the lead. And the clan shot 51.6%. They were 16 of 31 from the field. They were 4 of 10 from beyond the arc. Hit all 6 of their free throws. Central Washington only made 3 free throw trips in that entire opening half. The leading scorers for Simon Fraser. And as we mentioned, a really balanced attack led by the 10 points of Sophie Swan. 8 from Tia Sang, 6 from Taylor Drynan. 6 as well from Claudia Hart, 5 from Kendall Sands, and 5 from Jessica Jones. 9 points from Taylor Baird leading the way for Central Washington, also 7 from Sadie Menson. As we get underway here, the clan with the basketball, wearing their home whites and sitting with a 13-point lead. Here's Swan, turns a corner, high performance right to the window. And Sophie lays it up and in for a quick start to the second half. 15-point lead is going to be one off the game high of 16 for the clan in the first half. Here's Jasmine Edwards. She measures one up and will not get the shooter's roll. It's been that kind of a night for Central Washington, who's nonetheless shot 42.3% in that first half of play. A lot of stuff teetered off the iron for head coach Randy Richardson Thornley and company. So they will hope to get a bit more basketball karma going here in the second half. Wildcats, we mentioned, coming in on a 3-game losing streak here in the conference. A 10-win unit here. Shot swirls in and out by Verdine. Tough break again for Central Washington. Drynan looking so confident in her second season, her first as the team's starter at the point. For Jessica Jones, who is showing way more of a floor game. We already know about that shooting stroke. Here goes Jones, cutting to the basket, saves the broken play and gets it out to Drynan for 3, and Taylor just off the mark there. Tough break, but Simon Fraser made the most of it. Jessica Jones is doing a great job. Those quick bursting cuts to the basket almost got one to work there. Great little drop step underneath. It's not going to work for Taylor Baird this time. Taylor leading the rush right down the floor. She's going to take it hard to the hole and draw the contact. Taylor Jackson will get to the free throw line. As you see that replay, Taylor sensing the defense coming in the form of Verdine, and she makes the move just in time. You see Verdine grabbing that arm. Jackson Played 7 minutes in the first half and put zeros across the board. Well, had 1 rebound, had an offensive rebound, also an assist, but 2 turnovers. And she misses on the first course. Taylor coming off a double-figure performance against Northwest Nazarene on Thursday. She's going to make that one her first point of the game. She's in the books. 16-point lead. This equals the largest of the game for Simon Fraser, 45-29. They can't afford to get stagnant because Central Washington has shown the ability to hit the 3-ball end. Work that high-low very well here. It's Flores. She's a great shooter, and she measures up the medium-range jump shot there, 45-31. Sang with the basketball. Jones comes up to meet it at the top of the arc. Quick dribble, almost gets the roll. Jessica Jones took a quick little move there and found herself wide open. Underneath, and that is money in the bank for Taylor Baird. The ball well in short quarters down low. So a short little run here by Central Washington is exactly what we were talking about in terms of Simon Fraser getting stagnant with that big lead. Here's Jones, nice move to the basket. Jessica Jones off the dribble. And that's significant to see that part of her game starting to develop here in her redshirt freshman year. Jones, the catch and shoot specialist. We'll take a look at the replay here in super slow-mo from Clan TV as Tia Sang with the basketball. We'll get to that one in a second. We're right back to live action. Super slow-mo is very super slow-mo. Central Washington will work it around the horn. A drive by Edwards. And foul's going to be called against Sophie Swant. Her second foul of the game. They're going to bring Claudia Hart into the basketball game quickly. They don't want to mess around with that. Sophie was going to stay on the floor, excuse me. Taylor Jackson will come out. Sophie Swan only sat for 1 minute in that first quarter. Kendall Sands as well comes into the basketball game. Someone's going to come off here. It's going to be Tia Sang. Central would love a quick hitter here off the inbounds. They will get it stolen away by Sophie, though. She just comes right to the basketball, reads it all the way. Now Kendall Sands in control. Drying it to Hart at the top, looking for Swant instead. No, they'll settle for Sophie. This time a three-pointer by Dryden, too strong off the back iron. Ripped out of the sky there by Flores. Three-pointer. Hart a little late on the closeout as we heard Bruce Langford calling his player, but Central Washington coming up short. Hart now with the basketball. A drive, great move in the paint. Follows it so well. Ball was on top of Taylor Baird's back, or basically on her neck, as Claudia Hart and her battle for the ball. They're going to call a jump ball, and the possession arrow will favor Simon Fraser. Jones with the basketball now. She's going to drive, go right to the basket, can't get it to fall. Aggressive take. Jessica Jones playing some real nice aggressive basketball for Simon Fraser. 4 minutes into the second half of play. Swant tries to strip it away. Sands there as well. It's going to go off of Kendall and out of bounds. It'll stay Central Washington basketball with 17 on the shot clock. Dine set to inbounds, number 13, the 5'9" senior out of Ballard High School. Underneath, and they find a way to score it there with Sadie Mensing. So the 16-point lead now cut to 12. Simon Fraser would love to get back into an offensive flow. Kendall Sands facing a double team there. Aggressive defense from Central Washington. Drying into Sang. Verdine guarding her. They'll move it around the horn up the heart. Looking for Sophie down low and the high low out of bounds. Not happy about that one. Turnover there. And another chance for Central Washington to keep this roll going. Taylor Jackson will check in for Simon Fraser. Sophie Swamp will take a seat. And the Clan at their best late in that first half of play, drawing charges, creating turnovers, moving the ball well, and sharing it so well in the half court, knocking down threes, and everything was going Simon Fraser's way. But credit to Central Washington. They are coming back strong here as Edwards, little hesitation dribble, takes her right to the rim, and she gets the layup. It's a 10-point lead here. Sang with the basketball now. So the foul being called against Kaylee Flores. She'll take a seat here. Coming into the game is going to be Taylor Baird. Taylor Baird has been so effective down low. She has the wingspan, the athleticism, the timing, everything you want. Tia, catch and shoot. Tough shot, she knocks it down. Tia Sang, so strong with that three ball. And very quickly, the Clan push it back out to 13 points. A big shot, they needed it badly there. Three ball hoisted again, this time off the mark. Rebound underneath. And a vacuum underneath the basket is Taylor Baird. She's doing it all for Central Washington, keeping them within shouting distance. Tia back outside, finding Kendall underneath the basket. Sands can't get it to go. And a great play there by Sadie Mensing to get the block. Here's Edwards right down the floor, pitching for the three ball off the side of the rim. And a foul's gonna get called underneath. I believe it's gonna be Kendall Sands who is, no, it's gonna be Taylor Jackson getting called for the foul. So Jackson, Simon Fraser wants a timeout. They'll talk things over with 4:21 left in the third quarter. 50-39 from the West Gym. Howard Samura back with more on Clan TV in a moment. I hope you're enjoying the sounds of Hicklestock out of Port Coquitlam. Pretty talented young group there. The young group with one adult reminds me of School of Rock a bit there, but Hicklestock out of Port Coquitlam, grade 6 musicians, manning the bass, the lead vocals, and the drums. And always got that classic look when the drummer is able to join in on the background vocals, and Hicklestock doing it all here for the crowd at the West Gym. Stepping up to the free throw line now is Sadie Mensing. And she's gonna had a chance to cut it to under double digits. They get the rebound. And there's Jasmine Edwards pitching out to Flores. The miss there. Tia Sang wisely letting it fall out of bounds. It'll be Simon Fraser basketball. Tia Sang's had a strong game. Central showing some pressure. Jones's pass intended for Dryden. Jasmine Edwards getting in the way. See what happens there. Zhang now with the basketball. Little hesitation, drive, the strength of Tia drives the baseline. Jones frees her check, puts up the shot, knocks it down. A two-pointer, I believe, but a beautiful form shot on the baseline there from Jessica Jones. Shakes her defender, finds herself all alone, and lets fly. Edwards the drive and pitch, and Flores is going to knock down a big three ball there. And they get a steal as well. Simon Fraser did this against Northwest Nazarene at the end of the first quarter on Thursday. A chance now to cut this lead and really make some hay here for Central Washington, pardon the pun. If you've been to Ellensburg, beautiful country down there. Turnaround effort, Swirly moves in the paint, and a turnover called. As Taylor Bear doing her best to get things going. So Simon Fraser had built that lead to as many as 16 points. It's down to 9. Take a look at the replay here as Baird working the pivot. Takes it right into Jones. Boy. Jessica Jones took one there on the... So Simon Fraser Sands puts up the jump shot. Oh, just off the mark there. Wanted a quick hitter. Edwards, though, very quickly now pushing the pace. Sees a seam, goes right down the floor. And Sophie Swan gets there defensively. But they're going to call Swan for the foul. Not happy as she talks to head coach Bruce Langford coming off the floor. This is the veteran player trying to get a feel for how the game's being called and thought she had gotten there. But Swan will take a seat. She's got 4 fouls, and that's pretty substantial here for Simon Fraser. They're losing a bit of their momentum right now. Jasmine Edwards at the free throw line. Swan having to take a, looks to be an extended stint on the bench. It's down to 8 points now. So they've cut it in half, have the Wildcats, from their largest deficit. Simon Fraser needs to get back into the offensive flow. Kendall Sands into a double team, kicks it back out to Taylor. Nice shot in rhythm for the three from Dryden, and she knocks it down. Taylor Dryden needed that one badly, and she knocks it down. Great ball movement by Simon Fraser, answering the bell. Trying to stem the bleeding here, but there they come again. This time a miss right underneath, and Taylor Baird wants that opportunity back. Right on the lip of the rim, and she couldn't get that one to go. Great cut to the basket there. Sands on the skip pass from Taylor, couldn't get it. Just a little bit out of sync there between those two. 2:03 left in this quarter. Central Washington will sub Cassidy Malcolm back into the game. Take a look at this shot on the Clan TV replay. Swirly knuckleball on the baseline. It drops for the Clan. Hesitation, dribble to the rack, doesn't go. Edwards tries to get a loose ball instead. Flores underneath with a great opportunity to score it, can't do it. But the Clans, Taylor Jackson's going to get called for a foul, and that's Taylor's 4th foul. So Taylor Jackson and Sophie Swan each with 4 fouls, and that's tough sledding now for Simon Fraser. In terms of their participation, you've got to look to the efforts of Sang Jones and Claudia Hart in the deep block here. So Taylor will take a seat, Jessica Jones will come in. And Jones will play the 4 spot, Hart the 5. And Tia as well available to swing between the front and the back court here. But, mix and match here for Simon Fraser with their foul issues right now. Down this 3rd quarter stretch drive, they make the free throw. It's a 10-point game. Here comes Kendall Sands. Quickly to Jones, wants the quick hitter down the floor. Jessica can't get it to go. Tough break. Oh, I don't know. I didn't even see that when Jessica Jones gets called for a foul. That's a tough break for Simon Fraser. The referee indicated that Jones clipped the player on the head after. The way this one's going with all of their paint players with 4 fouls. Jones now has 3. Swant and Jackson each have 4. So the 5-team fouls, Central in the bonus. Nicole Vanderhelm is going to have to go in there with that tender left wrist. Take 8 players and compute how many mathematical possibilities there are. And Bruce Langford has probably hit on every single one of them with his group here over the course of the season. Here Tia Sang in their halftime break talking about the fact that they don't even think about the numbers anymore. They just go out there, do what they have to do. And it's been a gutsy Clan effort all season long. China now with the basketball. Taylor wants to drive, she pulls up. Finds Tia for 3 and just off the mark. Jasmine Edwards. Taylor Baird's going to check back in on the next stoppage for Central Washington. As we mentioned, she's been terrific throughout the year for the Wildcats. 1 minute remaining in the third quarter. Edwards on the baseline. They're going to say, ooh. They're going to call a block on the Clan. And they're going to call it on Tia Sang. That's her 2nd foul of the game. Central Washington, the deeper team, the team that's had a bit more success than the Clan this season, the GNAC, and they are pecking away, I guess is the best way to put this. Trailed by as many as 16, have cut it to within 8, have fallen back a bit, but just keep on coming and getting their share of trips to the stripe here in the third quarter. Edwards makes good on the second. 7-point game here with 1 minute left in the third quarter. Dryden with the basketball. Jones to Dryden, thought about a jump shot, instead he'll skip it to Hart. Claudia cross court, intercepted, picked off there by Mensing, and she's going to take it all the way down and lay it up and in. And here come the Wildcats. They've cut 11 points off their largest deficit, and they're pressing in the final half minute of play. 2.5 difference on the clocks here with 22 on the shot clock for Dryden. Taylor's keeping it high. Hart will come up and set a high screen. Dryden in the baseline, skip to Sang for 3, bingo! Tia Sang with a big shot. They needed a breath of fresh air. They got it right there, and that's going to do it for the third quarter play. 58-50. Grace under pressure there for Simon Fraser. As Dryden comes off the high screen, skips it to Sang, and Tia nails the triple. You see it right here. Claudia Hart coming up to set that screen. Dryden driving on the baseline, finding Tia wide open for the 3-ball. Tia Sang's been in her office today and she loves it. Her wheelhouse, the big triple, and a great shot of that in super slow-mo on Clan TV. Big shot for Simon Fraser. 58-50 is our score here after 3 quarters. We'll be back with the fourth quarter from the West Gym on Clan TV in just a moment.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is opportunity, because I can continue to pursue my Olympic dream as a swimmer while receiving a top quality Canadian education. I know that whichever path I take after graduation, I am well prepared for it. I am Adrian Vanderhelm, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA swim team.
And we're back with you on Clan TV. The fourth quarter now underway. We'll throw you some third quarter numbers in just a second. Simon Fraser coming up big with that late triple by Tia Sang to make it 58-50. Drawing in the game, the drive and the kick outside to Vanderhelm. Nicole will take a look around. She'll find Claudia Hart with the basketball in the half court. Claudia, the swirling pivot move. Jessica Jones steadies herself, can't quite get in the three-point rhythm there. Did her best as the shot clock went down to 3 on that possession. So Jasmine Edwards now finding Flores. Kaylee Flores has been effective for this team today. Verdine now 13. And back to Edwards. They'll feed the post. Taylor Baird will kick it back out top. This time Verdine for 3, and she knocks down the triple. So gets back what Tia Sang provided at the end of that third quarter. Verdine Hoist, she leans into that delivery and she makes it fall here in the West Gym. Drynan, Jones, great job by Jessica finding Claudia Hart underneath, and no option but the foul there for Sadie Mensing underneath. And it was great ball movement. If you're a basketball purist, I think you really start to enjoy, as we look at the shot here on the Clan TV replay, enjoy what Taylor Drynan does. She's such a cerebral player, and she really, if you consider how much she has the basketball this year, I know Ellen Kett was obviously leading this team last year, but when Taylor Drynan is thrust into that point guard spot, the amount of authority that she's holding with the basketball is so apparent compared to last season. She's so comfortable with it. She attacks with it. She moves to all parts of the half court. She really utilizes her teammates well. It's going to be fun to watch for the rest of this season, and of course as she enters her junior season next year here with Simon Fraser. Great give and go underneath again. And that two-player game so successful when Taylor Baird's on the other end. So Claudia Hart gets called for the foul, her second of the game. Sophie Swan and Taylor Jackson will both come into the game, and this is a pivotal moment. Simon Fraser with a 6-point lead will bring in their two front court players, each with 4 fouls. 8:32 remaining and a 6-point lead, and we'll see how they fare here. They can be difference makers, but they have to temper things somewhat. Central is coming on strong. Here's a kick for 3 from the baseline corner. Verdine, this time the other side of the court, can't make it fall. Drynan comes out, finds Jones running into pick it off is Verdine. She read that one the whole way. A slow developing play results in the turnover. Verdine's gonna lean into it. She'll knock down another triple. It's a 1-possession game. From 16 points down to 3 as Verdine knocks down the triple, and she's got that teetering 3-point release. Here's Taylor driving on the baseline. Jackson turnaround back upside to Swan. Sophie wants to use the screen. Will drive into the paint, gets right to the window, but gets rejected underneath. And here's Verdine. The Wildcats could actually tie here with a triple or pull to within 1. Strapped themselves in. It's going to be a terrific finish here. Simon Fraser, from their perspective, has to take some momentum back in this basketball game. They can't do it. Flores. And Bruce Langford keeps looking for answers. This time it's going to be Kendall Sands at the check-in at the next stop. And Simon Fraser, though, needs to get out of their offensive funk. A timeout being called, it looks like, by Simon Fraser. Where did the lead go for the home team? They led by as many as 16 points. Central Washington's largest lead midway through early in the game was 3 points. But here they are to within 1. We'll keep it right here over this timeout as Hickelstock cranks it up again. They got the Les Paul, they got the Fender bass, and they got the singing drummer as well. They're doing it all here at the West Gym, but Simon Fraser could use a little of that rhythm right now. Maybe take a cue from Hickelstock and get things going themselves, because their offense has come to a grinding halt here in the fourth quarter. And it's not helped by the fact that Sophie Swan and Taylor Jackson each have 4, Jessica Jones has 3. And that foul count is maybe perhaps taking the edge off of what they can do. And if you're going to say there's been a script to what's happening here for Simon Fraser, it's been certainly courageous quality performance by this basketball team, but attrition has been a key word here against deeper teams in this conference. Simon Fraser tonight doing it with 7 players and an injured Nicole Vanderhelm. And you got to tip your hat to Vanderhelm for even going in there. You could tell just by the way she's out there how tender that wrist is. And a tough break for the former Holy Cross Crusader. This season's Clan team had as many as 3 players, I believe, in the key rotation last year who elected not to return despite eligibility remaining. And obviously that's an absolutely personal choice, and we're not casting any stones here. But just to let you know, this Simon Fraser team would have had a drastically different look here. We're not talking about just 3 players at the end of the bench, 3 absolute top-end rotation players. So this group here has been plucky. Facing injuries too, they're doing everything they can. Here's Swan driving baseline at Taylor. Off the window, Taylor can't get it to go, and Sophie Swan battling hard for a loose ball underneath. Looks like the foul is going to get called against Cassidy Malcolm. Indeed, the official will call number 24 from the Wildcats for the foul. 1 point Clown lead. They're nursing a 1 point lead here, 7:02 remaining. Dryman up top to Jones. Do they have what it takes? The intestinal fortitude, I think they call it. Gut check time is maybe the more simple way to describe what the Clan needs to do in the final 7 minutes of play. Sands in rhythm. Dryman's 3 off the side iron. Ball is pinballing there for the point guard. Edwards are going to get it right back. Jones for 3. She can't get it to go. The Clan in a shooting funk right now. 2 good looks at the basket. Couldn't knock it down when they needed it most. So they can, from their perspective, get a stop to turn things around. Here's Edwards, jump stop in the paint. Taylor does a good job with 4 fouls of defending down low, but she feels that one.
Okay. I'm here. That's a little weird.
That's the kind where you need a teammate in there to help you shake it off. No call there. Taylor feeling that one.
Good, 12? Okay. I'll just fine.
1 point lead here, 6:24 remaining, and here they come again. Jackson felt it, but the end result, they got the stop they wanted. Now they'll look to do some damage on the scoreboard. Jones inside to Jackson, and Taylor, the nice seal inside on Cassidy Malcolm. Just needs a split second there, and Taylor right to the basket for the lay-in. It's a 3-point lead now for Simon Fraser. Jones bearing down defensively against Flores. Edwards with the basketball. Mensing to Malcolm, doesn't go there, and the rebound gobbled up by Taylor Jackson. A second win would be huge for Simon Fraser. A second win with a short staff bench. There's Sophie battling hard, can't get it to go. Cassidy Malcolm scooping it up and getting it to Edwards, who's pushing the pace down the floor. The kick back, they don't want Verdine taking those threes. This time the triple by Malcolm grazes the outside of the nylon. So that's not going to go. It's a 3-point deficit for Central Washington. They're going to dig down on defense here as we reach the midway mark of the fourth quarter. Ooh, a turnover there for the Clan. They tried to look inside to Jackson instead. Central comes down the floor, and they're going to go inside out. They go to Flores, who gets a nice running start at the basket, drives in for the layup, and pulls her team to within one. Swat now with the basketball, drives in, dishes underneath to Taylor. Jackson pivoting, can't get around Taylor Baird, who puts up a brick wall in the paint. Media timeout here. We will take a short timeout as well from the West Gym, where the Clan have a 1-point lead over Central Washington. 4:27 left. Back with more in a moment on Clan TV.
For me, one word to describe competing for SFU is opportunity, because I can continue to pursue my Olympic dream as a swimmer while receiving a top quality Canadian education. I know that whichever path I take after graduation, I am well prepared for it. I am Adrian Vanderhelm, and I am proud to be on Canada's NCAA swim team.
Back here at the West Gym, Howard Simmer and the rest of the Clan TV crew up here enjoying another broadcast from the West Gym atop Burnaby Mountain. We're down to the nitty-gritty with 4:20 left and a 1-point lead for the home team in white with the basketball. Simon Fraser leading Central Washington. High-low inside to Taylor off the window, and Sophie Swan teaming up with Taylor Jackson. And that's a big basket here with 4:08 remaining. Central Washington, what a run they put together to come back from 16 down to tie this game. Simon Fraser right now just in a survival mode. They get a steal there off a turnover, and errant pass underneath. Here, head coach Booch Langford saying one-on-one, he wants Taylor, or rather Sophie Swan, to take that advantage of that matchup against Taylor Baird in the open court. Sophie Swan actually had 2 chances at it. She couldn't get the first one to fall, got a rebound, and couldn't put it back, so it remains a 3-point game. Edwards, penetration dish. Edwards is going to get it back again. This time the jumper from Flores teeters off the iron. Nice rebound there, gobbled up by Mensing. Central Washington wants a 30-second timeout, I believe. Indeed, a short little one there with 3:08 remaining in this game. It's a 3-point Clan lead. Nice to see that play develop as they're able to find Taylor Jackson cutting to the basket. Take a look at some super slow-mo here on our Clan TV replay. Clan are huddling right in front of our broadcast location, we can let you know. Jessica Jones now with the basketball. We're looking at our super slow-mo replay here as Jackson comes out to set a screen. And a very slow developing super slow-mo play, but you're gonna see high-low in perfect synchronicity here. as Taylor Jackson gets to the basket. Cut back to live action now, 3:08 remaining. Edwards crossover move, kicks it back up top. Verdine wanted the 3 ball, instead will drive and dish up top to Kaylee Flores. Flores loves turning the corner, couldn't get it to go there. And this time it's going to be a foul call going over the back to Taylor Baird. Taylor really wanting that rebound, working from behind against Sophie Swant in the low block. And she rises to try and scoop that ball away. She gets called for the foul, her second of the game. 2:50 remaining. My gosh, what a basketball game this is. Simon Fraser battling for their very playoff lives. Drinan Sang. Jackson shot clock down to 7. Jones catch and shoot from the top. Oh, off the side iron. And will go out of bounds by the Clan bench. So it'll be Central Washington basketball, 2:25 remaining. Simon Fraser has done everything it can here to cling to a 3-point lead. They've taken the best shot Central Washington has been able to deliver. Central coming back from 16 down to tie the game. Do they have enough from their perspective to keep it going, or the Clan gonna get that second breath here down the stretch drive? Edwards drive, funky angle off the window, doesn't go, but a second chance underneath, and this time they will score it. And Taylor Baird's been doing that all game long, battling in the low block for offensive rebounds. 1-point lead here. Tia comes up to meet the basketball. Sang now to Swant. Under 2 minutes remaining. Shot clock is down to 11 here for Sang. She goes cross court. Jones wanted the drive or the 3, had neither, on good defense from Verdine. Shot clock now down to 4 for Drinan. Taylor's got to put it up. She's on the baseline. Reverse again! Oh, and this time she can't get that one to go. So Central Washington now with a chance to take the lead in the final minute and 25 seconds. It's been a long while since the Wildcats have been able to be in front. In fact, it might have been off that first 3 of the game by Jasmine Edwards. 10 seconds into the game, Edwards looking underneath, and a collision underneath. Sophie takes one off the chops, and she falls hard to the court. Oh, and Sophie Swant, I believe, is fouled out of the game. That is a long mile for Sophie Swant to walk. She does not want to leave this basketball game, and there's a slow burn being done by number 21 as she comes off the court. What a game as usual. Sophie Swant, just an absolute warrior for this team. The 5 fouls, 106, and that's a tough one to have to leave the game. Off the inbounds, they're able to score it, and that again is going to put Central Washington ahead. So tough break here for the Clan. Given up off the baseline inbounds that Swant would have defended so well. And she fouls out of the game. Here's Sands. Jones now with the basketball. Jessica, hand off to Drinan. Down to 43 seconds left. Drinan into a double team. Kicking Kendall for 3, has a hand in her face. It's blocked. And they're going to call a foul against Kaylee Flores. Indeed, it's going to be 3 free throws for Kendall Sands. These are big ones for the freshman. Kendall Sands is going to step up and get 3 from the stripe. Kaylee Flores came in to try and block that shot, and wow. So Kendall Sands with a big opportunity here, and she has not played like a freshman. She's able to make the first. Final free throw now coming up for Kendall. And as my friend Jim Mullen would say, triple. This time all from the free throw line. Kendall Sands, a little ice in those veins out of Coquitlam tonight. And the former Charles Best Blue Devil steps up and says, hey, I've got a steady hand here from 15. She knocks down all 3 free throws to give the Clan a 2-point lead with 38.6 seconds left. Simon Fraser, tooth and nail, clawing for that 6th and final GNAC playoff spot, and they need to win out. Western Washington will be in this barn on Tuesday, and the Yellow Jackets of Montana State Billings in the same barn on Thursday to end the regular season. The question for the Clan, will it continue beyond Thursday? Will they need this one in a big way? Kendall Sands, 3 free throws, doing a great job of keeping her team in the stakes. Central Washington, minute remaining. 3-pointer gives them a lead. Underneath, too easy. They find Taylor Baird underneath to tie the game. Jasmine Edwards. Simon Fraser with a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. Take a look at the replay here as Edwards works off the screen and roll. A couple of bounces and a nice pass there. Taylor committed to Edwards, and Jones coming with the help, but Taylor Baird has done it all night long down low. Great atmosphere here in the West Gym. Pink night, cancer awareness. Hicklestock, the boy band, in the stands playing for the crowd here tonight. Great atmosphere, and of course the men will follow at 7:30. Simon Fraser looking to sweep of the Alaska teams. They will face Anchorage. And if you saw the way Simon Fraser played on Thursday, certainly cannot count them out of anything as they get set to face the Seawolves of Alaska Anchorage next right here on Clan TV. Of course, we'll take a short break between those broadcasts. Inbounds pass here from Jones. 2 players draped all over Taylor Jackson. Well, they'll leave that formation now. It's Baird in front of her. Down to 23 seconds, the shot clock turned off. Tie game. This is what it's all about. If you're a GNAC basketball fan. Down to 10 seconds. Dryden working off the Jackson screen. Taylor now driving on the baseline. Oh, has dispossessed of the ball by Mensing, and with 9/10 of a second, Bruce Langford wants a foul on Taylor Dryden underneath. He's not going to get it. And Central Washington, I think, with some issues regarding how much time was on the clock when they called that timeout. So a couple of things happening here simultaneously. We'll take a look at the replay here. As it's inbounded to Dryden. Taylor's going to take the clock down. We may be headed to OT here. Should keep watching. Dryden eventually to put some giddy up in that step of her dribble here. She works around the Jackson screen. Here she comes. I don't know, it looked okay, I think. Now they have added time back on the clock, and I knew this was going to be an issue based on Randy Richardson Thornley's timeout and the officials. And her first thought while Langford was calling for the foul underneath was Central's coaching staff questioning the clock. So they have added a 2nd and 3/10 onto the clock. Unbeknownst to the Clan, in the middle of that timeout, the clock changed to 2.2 seconds, and that is huge in this instance. 1.9. 1.9 is what it should be, but they've got 2.2. They're going to inbound the basketball. Turnaround effort at the clock. Oh, it's going to miss, and we are headed to overtime. Central had a quick hitter in mind, and Taylor Baird had a good look at it, but this game will head to overtime. Woo! Simon Fraser University with so many great opportunities A 16-point lead that looked healthy. But a determined Central Washington team has rallied back in some dramatics over the final few seconds as we take a look on our Clan TV screen. The inbounds from Sadie Mensing. That's Taylor Jackson guarding, and there's 2.2 seconds left on the clock. Looked like Tia Sang was falling while Taylor Baird was in her pivoting move to the glass, and she couldn't finish it. She had a chance to win it at the buzzer for Central Washington. So both teams will chat it over, and Simon Fraser may want to wheel in some of the oxygen tanks here for their short-staffed crew. Men, see them there. Bowen Bakken and Jordan Bjork-Young, JJ Pankratz, Othniel Spence, all of them waiting for this game that is going to be for them a little bit later than expected. The Clan men may want to, if they're not going to, well, I think they're going to stay and cheer on the ladies here, but they're going to have to cool their heels a bit. So will the Seawolves of Alaska Anchorage. It will be a tremendous basketball game. We'll have the call following that, but we're going to go OT here from the West Gym. Sixes across the board. Simon Fraser, Central Washington set to battle in overtime here. Simon Fraser shooting 40% on the game, 24 of 60, 44%, 25 of 57 for Central Washington. The Wildcats led by the 17 of Taylor Baird and the 14 of Sadie Mensing. 14 points from Tia Sang and 12 from Sophie Swan, who is fouled out of this game, leads Simon Fraser. So buckle yourselves in, strap yourselves in, and let's get ready to play some GNAC overtime basketball. It's going to be Taylor Baird and Claudia Hart taking the jump. Baird wins it. Mensing comes to it, and Central Washington will start with possession. Jasmine Edwards in command here. Mensing now pulls up from 18. Well off the mark. The rebound gobbled up by Jones, and Jessica now gets into stride coming up the floor. She'll pass off to Taylor Drynan. Talked about Drynan's authority with the basketball. You saw it there as she drained clock in the waning minutes of the fourth quarter. She's got the basketball back from teammate Kendall Sands, 10 on the shot clock. Drynan, the drive, the scoop, and she can't get it to go. Rebound ripped down by Verdine. She'll quickly get the ball to Mensing, and there's a charge taken. Kendall Sands, what a great job, right in front of our broadcast location. If Kendall could have put a crash helmet on, she would have. She knew what was coming, but she stood in and withstood it. She gives a double thumbs up as she hits the floor, knowing that she was easily there in time to draw the charge. But that's the one where you know you're going to take a sock. Kendall Sands got knocked to the court hard, but she creates the turnover for her team. Big 50 seconds into this overtime session. 5-minute overtime. We're down to 4 minutes now. Kendall off the screen, great skip to Claudia Hart underneath, and Hart will lay it up and in. It's a Clan lead, 1 minute into overtime. Do the little things like take the big charge, and they lead to things like that. There's a great job there though by the senior. Jasmine Edwards lowers her shoulder as she puts it on the pine, drives to the basket for the lay, and she ties it at 68. 3:38 remaining. Kendall into traffic. Oh, they're going to call her for the travel. I think that's the right call. Unfortunately, Central Washington Wildcats converged on her as she tried to drive. I think Kendall was thinking drive, pivot, and pass and keep the possession going instead. She creates a turnover. This time is the guilty party. There's Flores, high arcing three off the side iron, doesn't go. Battle for that ball underneath. I think Jones is going to get called. Indeed, Jessica, that's going to be her fourth. Of course, those team fouls will carry over into the overtime session. Third team foul on Simon Fraser. Edwards tries to muscle her way in the paint, can't get a layup attempt to fall, and Drynan pushes the tempo to Tia Sang for three. Oh, Tia, big three! Tia Sang has been so reliable today. What a game she's had. She is 5 of 6 from beyond the arc. Tia Sang, what a game from beyond the arc. Entry underneath, and this time a miss on the high percentage look by Taylor Baird. I don't think you could get a more high percentage look in this basketball game in any matchup on the floor right now than a one-on-one with Taylor Baird in the low blocker back to the basket, and she misses it. So that's a break for the Clan because Taylor Baird's been so reliable down there. It's going to send Jones to the free throw line on the other end. Let's stay in the present moment with this Clan team battling for the playoffs, but then just look at how young they are. Oh my gosh, this is as they have nobody more than a sophomore on the floor, and Tia grabs a loose ball, recycles, and here they come. They've got a 4-point lead and the basketball as we just get by the midway mark, or we hit the midway mark of this overtime. That is called doing yourself a favor. Tia Sang with some great hands. Here's Jones. Jump stop, Hart right to the basket, and Claudia lays it up and in! Two redshirt freshmen, a pure freshman, and two sophomores on the floor for Simon Fraser against his senior-laden Central Washington team, which comes in with 10 wins in the conference. Tia gets her hands on the basketball, and it's another turnover. Gutsy play here by the Clan. Sands Verdine in her face. Claudia Hart now with the basketball. More cross court to Drynan. Taylor driving to the window, blocked and rejected there by Kaylee Flores, who gets it done defensively with 5 on the shot clock, 1:42 left in the game. Clan timeout. We'll keep it here. And if you like what you're seeing from the Clan perspective, if you're a Clan basketball fan, just know that this is a pretty experienced Central Washington team. Jasmine Edwards, their point guard, is a senior. Taylor Baird's a senior. Sadie Mensing's a junior. And Beverly Verdine is a senior. See the block there by Kaylee Flores. She is indeed a sophomore, so one of the younger players on the team. But the point is a deeper Central Washington team with a lot of experience in the conference. There's 3 players in the group that Bruce Langford has that didn't even play last season. They were either redshirts or too young. Kendall Sands was still in her final year of high school. Jessica Jones and Claudia Hart were redshirt freshmen. And Taylor Drynan and Tia Sang part of the rotation, but certainly not the heavy minute warriors they've been in this game. What a game, what an experience. You learn the world of college basketball in situations like this, and the Simon Fraser Clan, certainly so much basketball to be played, but doing a courageous job here in overtime. Tia's gonna drive and pull up for the 3 and hit it! She hits the big triple! They just left Tia Sang and she said, I'm going to shoot this 3 ball because I'm on fire. What a job by Tia Sang. Officials come in to check. Indeed, it was a 3. Big shot for the Clan, gives them a 9-point lead, and Tia Sang, ridiculous from beyond the arc tonight. 90 seconds left in this basketball game. Simon Fraser playing beyond their years. I don't know what else you can say. And Tia gets in there for a jump ball. She gets her hands on the ball as Verdine tried to, or rather Mensing tried to drive by her, and she creates a turnover. what Tia Sang has done, what Kendall Sands have done, what a effort it's been for this basketball team here tonight. Central Washington, all the momentum at the end of that fourth quarter. But overtime can be a funny animal to try and predict. Verdine fouling Jones, and wow. So Verdine with the foul, her second of the game. But they are already starting the parade to the free throw line, and Jessica Jones will step up and shoot. It has been something to watch. The way that Jones and Drynan and Sang and Sands and Claudia Hart have melded as a group of 5 here. Taylor Jackson has been seated. Sophie Swans is fouled out of the game. Nicole Vanderhelm has an injured wrist. So, and a miss again. Boy, Central Washington cannot buy a basket. And Simon Fraser with an 11-point lead. And they will march again with a chance to make it 13. And this certainly is an outlier, this game. How many times are you going to look at all the college basketball games, Div 1, 2, and 3, across North America tonight and see an 11-point game? Like, if it ends up going that way, that is a double-digit game in overtime. It just does not happen very often. Simon Fraser still with a ton to play here. Don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but they have built an 11-point lead. Make that 12 with 1:11 left. Goodness, where did this come from? Sang, how do you do? Didn't even flinch at the stripe, and the lead now 13 with 1:08 remaining. Here's Verdine turning a corner. Shot off the window was going to go and make it an 11-point game with 1 minute remaining. Edwards is there quickly to pressure Taylor Drynan. And so now Drynan will step up to the free throw line. Simon Fraser Clan basketball on Clan TV, a doubleheader tonight just like we had on Thursday. Hope you've enjoyed our broadcast thus far. Remember, you may be watching Central Washington. The victor over Simon Fraser, I believe it was 77-71 earlier this season in Ellensburg. Look at Sophie Swan. Love the fact that she can't play, but she can watch her young teammates. And as a junior statesman on this team, one of the veterans as a junior, has got her girls going on the bench, and they are pumped. Right now with 54.1 seconds left in the 12-point lead. Oakwood in Central Washington. Edwards, the senior, coming back up the court. There's a turnover. They're going to call the foul on number 10, Taylor Baird, away from the ball. I didn't see it. Her third of the game. Drynan. Can tell how much she loves being a general out there. She has played a terrific basketball game tonight. Tia Sang, what can you say about the way she shot the basketball? It's like she just rolled the car up to the corner and just waited, and the catch and shoot has worked, but she's also brought that physicality. She's done so many other great things for this basketball team. Our guest at the half was Tia Sang, and certainly cranked it up in the second half of play. So Taylor Drynan is at the free throw line. Taylor Jackson will check in. Simon Fraser, the men parked and watching as this game went to overtime, have returned to their lockers and will soon be on the floor. You can see the Seawolves of Alaska Anchorage, the men's team, waiting to take to the court after this one. That one's scheduled for a 7:30 start. I'm not sure if we're remaining on cue for time. We'll be a little bit later. We're informed here, Taylor Drynan, boy, if you're a Clan fan, you should be cheering right now as Taylor Drynan comes off the floor. What a game. And the heavy minutes she logs as the leader in minutes played in this team. Verdine to Flores, the shot off the mark there, and Hart with a rebound. She'll get fouled, and Claudia will get her chance from 15. So many neat signs for this Clan team in the second half. You can reference Kendall Sands and the incredible game she's had, and Kendall Sands, at a time when Simon Fraser needed to start building momentum, stepped up to the free throw line and hit 3 straight free throws. Certainly you can't underestimate what that meant in terms of good old momentum here for Simon Fraser and how that carried over into this overtime frame. Just confidence from the young players so big tonight. And just like Tia Sang did, Claudia Hart steps up like Steve Nash and just knocks him down. 15-point lead here. Verdine to Baird underneath the basket, and Baird's going to score it. She's had a terrific game. That is a high percentage look underneath. And number 10 is a go-to player in this conference. Tied at 66 across the board. 6s across the board to start overtime. 19-7. What a surge by Simon Fraser in the overtime. It's only a 5-minute overtime and they scored 19 points. And here it goes, it's gonna tick out. Simon Fraser with their gutsiest win of the year. They become the aggressors with their youth in overtime to beat 10-win Central Washington here at the West Gym. They keep their playoff hopes alive with a big upset victory at the West Gym. Simon Fraser 85, Central Washington 73. What an effort tonight by the home team in white as they go through the post-game ceremonial high fives. What an effort for Bruce Langford and his team here tonight. Tia Sang, Kendall Sands, Claudia Hart. Just look at the way Taylor Dryden and the rest of them play. Down the stretch drive, the young team getting a huge win, 85-73. From the West Gym, Howard Samura, thanks to everyone on our Clan TV crew. Back a little bit past 7:30 for our production of SFU men's basketball, SFU versus Alaska Anchorage.